Note to self. We all know that there is one presence and one power in our lives and everywhere. I guess we just take a lifetime to truly understand that. Well, I'm certainly still on the road to discovering the truth of that in its totality. I love to walk in nature every day. I find it's my way to connect with God at a much deeper level. And this time that I spend walking, I won't give that up for anything or anybody, because it's my time of meditation. And that's the time when I truly am able to feel the presence of God in everything, everywhere around me, vibrating. About 12 months ago, I got into Facebook. Now, most people go, "Oh my goodness, Facebook." Well, I have discovered a whole new group of friends right around the world that I connect with on a daily basis through Facebook. All of us are on a spiritual journey, all interested in growing spiritually. And it's just amazing. Every day I go to Facebook and I am totally uplifted by sharing other people's journeys and me being able to share mine in a totally loving, friendly atmosphere. Some people knock Facebook in a big way, but I have found it nothing but sensational. So I decided one day that I would begin to share my little walks every day in nature. And every day I would post my note to self, what Spirit had shown me and taught me during my walk that particular day. Then I decided, well, that's fine to read that message that I have made to myself each day, but unless they understand truly what I'm talking about, then it kind of loses half of its message. So what I did was decide, I took a photo each day of what I saw in nature, in my walk, and I posted the photo with my note to self. So I guess in every single one of these, there was a lesson for me to learn. And nature is the most, as Bill mentioned before, the most amazing way to teach us. It shows us every day how to go with the flow, how to be totally non-resistant. In every little seed is the DNA for that seed to grow into the perfect whatever it's meant to be. And it doesn't fight that. It doesn't, like I do, ask the hows and the whys and the wheres, and God, if you're not really sure, I can show you how myself. And I can even write you a list of what to do. I do that on a regular basis too. So these notes to self grew. This morning, I would love to invite you to come on a journey with me on my walk. I'm just going to share with you just a few, I promise that it's not the whole album, a few of my notes to self and what I have learnt through nature during these walks. Note to self. Remember today to always be a reflection of the truth of who I truly am. I should mention I'm not a photographer, so whatever you see is what you get, okay? This photo was taken at Ruffy Lake, and I'm sitting over this side of the lake on a rock where that was my favourite spot for meditation. So this little note, we all know that we are truly magnificent beings, that we co-create our world in every moment of every day, that there is that universal energy flowing through us 24/7. We just need to truly understand it and put this into practice in our lives in every moment of every day. And sometimes that's a little bit difficult. As I said, we just keep hanging on to the hows and the whys and the whens and the wheres, instead of just allowing God to flow through us. And if we focused on what we need to do, like the visualization and the affirmations and the meditation, as we're taught here at Unity, and allow God to do his part, how amazing our world would be. Note to self. Remember today that the answers to all my questions can be found within the stillness of my heart. This little twig, exactly as it was, I don't move anything, I don't change anything, I just take the photo as it is on my path. How amazing is nature? And how blessed am I that Spirit brings me these little messages as I walk. I feel at times totally humbled by what I see or what's brought to me. On this particular day, I had a number of very big questions rolling around in my head. The typical ones. I don't need to go there. You understand. And perhaps you don't. Perhaps you let it all happen. And when I saw this little twig, I looked down and I said, okay, I get the message, How about I just sit still for a while and be quiet and allow the answers to come? So I wandered on to my rock by the lake, and sure enough, the answers did come. Because as I sat in meditation, I allowed that God energy to flow through and bring me the answers that I needed. Note to self. Remember today that one tiny act of kindness makes the whole world vibrate with joy and smile. Even with the little bit of something eaten out of the petal, how perfect is that? It's just, to me, that we all vibrate ripples of something every single day, every single moment. How often do we choose to vibrate the negative rather than vibrate the positive? How often do we consciously stop and ask ourselves, what am I sending out right in this moment? Am I sending out ripples of fear? Am I sending out ripples of worry? Or am I sending out ripples of joy and vibrating that within myself, within all that's around me, and in fact, the whole of the universe? It blows my mind to think that one little smile to somebody, one little hug, one little compliment, one little good morning sends a ripple of kindness and joy that changes the whole universe. I mean, how amazing is that? It is just... And the other thing that blows me away, when I stand in nature and I look around me and I think, every leaf, every twig, every tree, every flower, every blade of grass, every rock, every drop of water is vibrating with universal energy. And it's all vibrating with joy and happiness at being part of this amazing, wonderful world. If I could lift my vibration to joy and happiness, I vibrate that out to all of that's in nature. Imagine what's coming back to me in every moment. It just excites me to the nth degree. I just think that is an amazing thought. Note to self, remember today that for my journey in life to flow freely, I just need to clear the clutter from my path. This was after a storm had gone through, and now that we live in Eltham, we're so lucky to live right. Part of my, description to God was there has to be a creek at the bottom of the hill wherever I live, and sure enough, it was Diamond Creek. What better name? Diamond. I live next to Diamond Creek. I mean, that blew me away anyway. So as I was walking along, I saw this puddle, and a lot of branches and twigs had been blown down, and I thought, perfect. Clearing the clutter. I don't know about you, but I need to constantly clear the clutter out of my life and around me. Not even just the stuff that's not needed. I'm going a little deeper here. I'm talking about in my mind. I mean, nature clears the clutter automatically, freely and effortlessly. Mother Nature just, and sometimes what we see is absolute desecration of the land. But in actual fact, Mother Nature is just cleansing all before her and choosing to create brand new, beautiful pathways that we can journey on. This little puddle on the path with all the twigs, it just gave me the greatest message. Righto, girl, clear that stuff out of your mind that just doesn't matter. I mean, the stuff that we hang on to from the past, the stuff that we hang on to in the future, what about right now? The beauty that surrounds me on this amazing walk that I'm on, and the vibration that I can feel through everything that surrounds me. Why would I hang on to the clutter? I did clear the path of the twigs, I must admit, because I know there are a lot of people who ride their bikes along this path too, so I thought I'd better do my little bit for the day and serve others. But just a magical moment. Note to self, remember today to allow my seeds of love, joy and happiness to be carried on the wind to hearts that are open to receive. When I pass, there's these grasses along the path, and they often wave in the breezes at me. I think, yeah, I really need to stop for a moment and just in my imagination send out little seeds of happiness and joy into the world. How do I do that? I do it with the power of intent. I hold out my hands. I see the seeds of joy and happiness resting on my hands, and I blow them to the wind and allow the wind to carry them to the four corners of the universe, to anyone who is open and receptive to receiving them. I do understand, of course, that I can't force my will upon anybody. But if there is someone out there who would be happy and open to receive in that moment, my intent is all it takes to send those forth. Note to self, remember today that every person has a spark of brilliance within them. I just have to listen with my heart to see it shine. I was just crossing the bridge on my way home, and the sunlight hit the water, and I thought, oh, how beautiful, how magical. I love the word magical, as you can see. Magical. That what if today, just for today, I could look at every single person that I met or passed, and I could put aside my perceptions of what they should be like, if I could put away my old beliefs of how people should act, if I could put aside my judgment of how I believe people should be, I just may be able to find that spark of brilliance that shines, that Christ light that shines in every single person around me. Not even every person, but the Christ light that shines through every tree and every flower and every leaf and every tiny drop of water. So that brilliance, that unique brilliance shines in each one of us. And perhaps just for today, we could recognize that spark of brilliance within another. Remember today that even in those times of self-doubt, I can find the golden moments and give gratitude. There is good in everything. Negative situations are brought into our lives really for us to create more good. If we don't experience the negative side of life, how can we possibly go forth and create more beauty, more joy, more happiness? Because it's through those negative experiences in this world of duality that we discover what it is that we truly desire. So in every negative experience, there is good, there is joy. If we can just look deep enough and find that. Or maybe get up high enough in the clouds and look down upon it and go, oh, is that why it happened? Oh, wow, if I had have known that, why would I have got so stressed about it? But yeah, we all live through those, and sometimes we just don't want to let them go. I mean, it's much fun, isn't it, hanging on to them and having everybody else wallow with us. Yeah, so note to self, remember today that just as the sunlight flickers and dances its way across the water to light up the world with joy, so too do songs of gratitude allow my heart to sparkle and dance with love. There is a song in every part of nature. We just have to take the time to listen to it and give gratitude. And as we listen to the song and we give appreciation for that moment, our hearts will truly sparkle and dance with love. It's impossible to do anything else. Note to self, remember today that the journey may at times be challenging, but I have within me the strength and courage to succeed. As I walked along the path and I saw this little green caterpillar doing his darndest to get across to the other side. Obviously the grass was greener, you know, how the grass is always greener. And I thought, oh my goodness, what a lesson in persistence. When the going gets tough or rough, just take the next step. I don't know whether caterpillars take steps. I presume they do. But this little guy, he was going his hardest. So I said, could you just hold still for 1 minute? I need to take your photo. So he sat there and smiled. Can't you see the smile? You can see the smile, can't you? He was so proud of having his photo taken. So I took his photo and then I lifted him up over to the other side of the path, yeah, because I'd learnt my lesson. He'd given me an amazing lesson that morning. Just take the next step. Just take the next step. Note to self, remember today to follow a path of faith and trust, and my sacred journey will unfold before me. This is just a little path in Ruffy Lake Park. And it's just so beautiful. I just have to stand there in awe of how beautiful this is, and the energy around you when you walk through it is just amazing. It's so easy to take the path of safety, or is it? Because no matter how many times we try and take that path of safety, we will be drawn back to a path of faith. Things will happen in our lives, along our path, along our journey, to make us turn back to that path of faith. Our soul is crying out to follow the path of faith. So, as many times as you like, you can try the path of safety, but I guarantee it, every time you will be drawn back to that sacred journey and to that path of faith. And as you take that path of faith, every step will unfold before you. Sometimes it takes a little while to come through, because we keep asking the hows and the whys, but it does happen. The path of faith. Oh, I just love this photo. It was a little leaf just sitting in the middle of nowhere. Note to self, remember today to allow the diamond within me to shine its unique brilliance to the world. We all have a diamond within us. The question is, am I going to be brave and courageous enough and have the strength to allow that diamond to shine to the world? It's a big ask sometimes, and it takes a lot of courage and a lot of strength to do that. But you have a diamond within you. You just have to decide how many carats it is and let it truly sparkle and shine. Just like this little leaf. It decided it had lots of diamonds to shine to the world. Oh, I love this one too. Note to self, remember today that even when I am sad and forget how to sing, universal love weaves a melody through the tears. Two hearts beating as one. It doesn't really matter which is which. I figure I'm probably on the left and God's on the right. You know, it's just the most amazing thought that and there are moments quite often in my day when I say, God, I can't do this. I just don't know what to do. I just have no idea. Can you carry me? Remember today to sing to the flowers, who will sing to the trees, who will sing to the sky, who will sing to the breeze, who will carry it up and on and around. What a magical song, what a magical sound. And I think that's a pretty good cue for a song.